Hey, good morning. I thought today would be a fantastic day to get back to the basics. You know, this microcap gem live stream started about a year ago. And one of the things that I did fairly frequently when it first got started was really went through my process on how I evaluate a project and whether or not it ticks off and checks the boxes for the types of things that I am looking for. And I think that right now is an incredible time to maybe revisit some of those basics. I know that there's more beginners in crypto that are joining YouTube and looking for guides on how to get started in this crazy world of cryptocurrency investing. So folks, if that's you, if you really want to learn how to dive a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole and find some incredible projects with low market caps that could have some tremendous potential, you are in the right place. So stick around for a little while today. I am excited to have you here. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Brad Varnell. This is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. Welcome to all of you for being here. Thank you, C for Crypto. Good morning to you, man. Hope you are doing absolutely fantastic today. Eric Bernstein, God bless you, brother. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And Dave P, man, good morning. As always, hope you are also doing fantastic. And great, I'm glad to see that you got those BYDFI tokens. That's definitely one of the projects that I am pretty excited about. I like Cardano. I think Cardano is going to have a pretty big run during this bull market. And so, yeah, I'm glad that you're able to get a hold of those BYDFI tokens, and hopefully those are a token where we come back in 3 or 4 or 5 months and that $50 in that token is worth several hundred, potentially even several $1,000s. XM Textile. Good morning, brother. Thank you for being here. Folks, let's do a little bit of hashtag microcaps in the chat this morning. There may be a giveaway today. Maybe. No guarantees, but normally I don't mess with you guys too much. So hashtag microcaps today if you want to get in on a little giveaway potentially. Good morning, Chucks, man. Hopefully you are doing fantastic. So one of the things that is super, super important when it comes to investing in cryptocurrency, any investing at all, really, one of the cardinal rules that everybody will tell you is don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. And folks, when you're investing in microcap gems, that really is probably that's the second most important rule. I will tell you here real quickly what the first most important rule. When you're investing in stocks or real estate, something along those lines, you could probably say that don't invest money that you can't afford to lose is one of the more important rules, maybe even the most important rule. In crypto, does anybody know what my cardinal rule is? Anybody that's been watching the channel care to take a guess as to what my number one rule is when it comes to investing in microcap gems? Anybody remember what I say about that? Take a stab at it. There's no wrong answers, folks. While you guys are taking a stab at it, I'm going to run over and share my screen real quick here and show you guys something that could be important to you. So Dave P won $50 watching this BYDFI Finance microcap gem interview that we did last week. Well, here in a little under 3 hours at noon Pacific Standard Time, we are doing a live stream interview with somebody from the NEURAHUB team. This is an amazing layer 1 blockchain. This token had an absolute massive private sale a few years back that I was actually I don't remember. I think it was through the Gains platform that I was actually able to get a hold of some of these tokens. It may have been the Delta Hub Capital, a different group that I was in. But look at this, folks. This token, shot up here in March of 2024, a little over a year ago, all the way up to 96 cents. Right now, it is back at about 1.9 cents. It's a 2-cent token with an $11 million market cap. And I'm super excited today to do a live stream interview and share with you the Nibiru project. And we're going to be doing a $100 giveaway. So mark that on your clocks. You can go here to the notification bell, turn that notification on. I'm going to hopefully get you guys out of here in an hour or less today. So you'll have a couple hours to recoup, regenerate, go get some lunch, spend some time working. And then hopefully you can sneak back and have this on. If you're at work, sneak on, put on your headphones and sneak in a little bit of a live stream at 12 o'clock for the $100 giveaway. So I'm seeing some guesses here. Dave P, don't play with money you can't afford to lose. No, that's what we just said, that was very important, but not number one. Eric Bernstein, that was a great guess. Not what I was thinking, but that was a great guess. And that is incredible advice, folks. One of the things about this process in cryptocurrency is you want to learn how to do this on your own. I think it's great that you have YouTube channels that you love and that you want to watch and that you get some good education and entertainment out of. But I'm with Eric. Never just come over to a channel like this one or anybody's for that matter and just go, oh, hey, this person is talking about this token. I better just go rush out and buy right into it. Folks, there's so many different reasons for that. But one of the most important is that if you don't actually educate yourself and understand how to go out and evaluate projects on your own, then you're never really going to truly have the freedom, because you want to be able to do this with or without anybody else's help. The other thing about it is there's a lot of great influencers out there in cryptocurrency, but there's also a lot of not so great cryptocurrency influencers. And what some cryptocurrency influencers will do, I'm sure you guys are all aware of this, but as they get bigger and as they have more pull with their community and as their community starts to trust them, there's a lot of influencers that will go out and buy a bag of a token. And then they make this incredibly hyped up video talking about how it can 10, 25, 50, 100x. And then they literally use their community as exit liquidity. And, some of these guys are able to pump tokens 10, 20, 30% through a good video. In fact, I was at a conference a couple years ago, and there was a gentleman on stage talking, and he basically said, are you kidding me? Like every time I do a live stream, one of you cats has to get like a bottle cap and be playing with it. I'm going to have to get up here in a second, but I wanted to finish this thought. But there was a guy on stage at an event that I was at that basically said that his strategy back in like 17, 18, 19 was he had a couple of crypto influencers that he would follow. And literally when they would post a video, if he was one of the first 100 viewers, he would literally just go buy the token that they talked about. And in general, he would make 10 to 20% every single time they posted a video. Well, some of these influencers were doing the same thing. They were pumping the token. And you think, well, you've got to be kidding me, Cat. Seriously, guys, how is it possible? Where did it go? I can't even find the bottle cap that they're playing with, but two of my cats are like playing hockey with a bottle cap. I've been here awake for the last 3 hours, not one noise out of the cats. I go live and all of a sudden they're playing hockey with a bottle cap on me. But my point is even if they only get a 5 or 10% pump, that is still massive. If they've already bought the token ahead of time and then they're unloading it on their viewers, and they can do that once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Like if you could go invest $10,000 into a token and make even, 5% on that, a couple of times a week, 5% of 10 grand is what, $500? You know, so $500, a couple, 2 or 3 times a week, an influencer that's got a little bit of an audience could pick up an extra 1,000, 1,500. And if they hit one that really goes a little bit viral and it goes up 20, 25%, now they're picking up $2,000, $2,500 per video. So anyways, Eric, that was a great answer, or a great guess, and I appreciate you saying it, but that was not what we were looking for. So folks, right now we're trying to find the number one thing that I believe is the most important, and it goes along the line. So we talked about the number one thing in a lot of investing is don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. Let me see if I can give you guys a little bit of a clue. My motto is don't invest money that you can't afford to leave. Don't invest money that you can't afford to leave. What's the rest of that sentence, folks? In my opinion, it's the number one rule when it comes to cryptocurrency investing. Let's go back over here to CoinGecko and go to the home page. Take a quick look at the markets. So as you can see here, Bitcoin's starting to recover a little bit. We are at 84,588 according to CoinGecko. Hey, look at that. Ethereum has had a nice little 24-hour pump up 8.4% and got back above above 2041. No, it's not don't invest what you cannot afford to lose, folks. So I agree with you that that is important, and maybe in stocks or other investing, don't invest money that you can't afford to lose might be the number one rule. But in crypto, I believe there's something even more important than that rule. So nobody's guessed it so far, but like I said, the beginning of it is don't invest money that you cannot afford to leave. What's the end of that sentence? Listen to my words. You don't invest money that you cannot afford to leave. Okay, so this is a good sign. Now, we don't know exactly what the feds are going to say today. There is a FOMC meeting, and so I think it's going to be a big nothing burger. There's not going to be any interest rate hikes. There's not going to be a lowering of the interest rates. I think that there is going to be, I think that there's not going to really be anything all that exciting. Book of Crypto says on the table. That is not exactly what I was looking for, Books. You're kind of headed in the right direction. And, don't invest money that you cannot afford to leave on the table. I mean, that's close. And then, Tim here with don't afford to leave, or don't invest money that you cannot afford to leave for some years. That's pretty close too. Both of those answers are pretty, close. I think you guys had the right idea. The way that I put it is don't invest money that you cannot afford to leave in the market for a long time. And so 4 years or leave on the table, both of those were relatively close answers. The reason that I say that, folks, is because a lot of new investors are used to pumps like this. Like, look, you could have just bought some Ethereum, and in the last 24 hours, you could have made 8% on your money. XRP, you bought some XRP recently, you could have made 12.7% on your money in less than 24 hours. But in general, crypto is very volatile, and there's a relatively high likelihood that you're going to end up underwater in your crypto, and it's going to take sometimes months, potentially even years before it really makes sense to sell your cryptocurrency investing. So it's very important to not invest money that you cannot afford to leave in the market long term. So long term is going to be different, but I'm telling you, like if you've got $10,000, say, and let's say that for whatever reason, you need that $10,000 in 90 days. And it's to pay off a loan, to put a down payment down on a house. You're getting ready to buy a house. You've got $10,000 towards the down payment, but you got 90 days, whatever. I see people all the time take a chunk of money that they know they're going to need in 30, 60, 90 days, and they put it into crypto believing that they can double or triple it. And inevitably, what will end up happening is their $10,000 will become worth $5,000 or $3,000 over the course of that 90 days. And because they need the money, most of the time they end up selling at a loss. So they'll sell and they've lost $5,000 or $7,000 of their $10,000, and now they're bitter. They think crypto is a scam, and they're frustrated. And then they're even sicker when 3, 4, 5, 6 months, a year later, that token that they sold at a big 50, 60, 70% loss has 10 or 20x'd, and their 10 grand would be worth, $200,000 if they would have just left it in the market for the long term, but instead they were investing money that they needed. So never invest money that you need for life into cryptocurrency. Now, that's obviously probably a good idea for all investing, but most of the time in the stock market, if you go buy $10,000 worth of Microsoft or Amazon or Tesla or some type of a good blue chip stock, odds are you might make a few percent, you might lose a few percent. But if you got $10,000 tied up, and let's say that you lose, 500 of it, and it becomes worth 9,500, and you have to cash it out, that's normally not that big of a deal, not going to change your life. So when it comes to investing in the regular stock market, you want to invest money that you can afford to lose, but the ability to leave it in the market long term isn't necessarily as important. In crypto, in my opinion, I think it's the first thing that you should look at. Like, how long can I leave this in the market if necessary? Can I live without this money for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years? And if the answer is no, at least to the 1 year, like if you cannot afford to leave it in the market for at least a year, then you might not want to pull the trigger and invest all of that capital. So that's my number one rule, with number two rule being don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. So once again, we're going to go back to the basics, and we're going to look at a couple of different tokens today. So I thought it was kind of cool, folks. There's a lot of new ways that you can search crypto, and you can use AI to help you. And so let me see if I can pop this up here real quick. And I want to show you something that I did today on ChatGPT. So I literally went to ChatGPT and I typed in hottest crypto altcoins below $100 million market cap. And this is what ChatGPT said. Investing in low market capitalization, low cap altcoins, those with a market cap under 100 million can offer substantial growth potential, though they come with higher risks due to their volatility and lesser liquidity. It is crucial to conduct thorough research before investing. Here are some promising low cap altcoins to consider. And so this is how you can come up with a list of tokens that you might want to take a look at. And something that I thought was pretty cool here is this token right here, Nexa. I wanted to show this to you. So Nexa right here, my team is pretty cool here. If you look here, I've actually got right here, Nexa Project and Infinite Crypto. I'm actually in talks with this team and have been now for a couple of weeks. And so I think that me and my team are doing a pretty good job of finding some of these microcap, gems. And so anyways, I thought that was kind of neat that I did this random search and that this token Nexa, popped up, and it says Nexa is a scalable layer 1 blockchain supporting EVM contracts aiming to be the next generation Ethereum. With a market cap under 60 million, it offers potential for significant returns in scalable, decentralized applications. So for those of you that are new to crypto, you want to use all of the tools at your disposal, and AI is an incredible tool. There's a lot of different AI companies in crypto that even do a better job than ChatGPT. I literally just popped this in a few minutes before the live stream today because I wanted to see what it would say. But what I would recommend, we don't have time to go through and look at every single one of these tokens today, but right off the top of my head, Seller. This is a token that's been around for a while. Those of you that are familiar with the cryptocurrency markets that have been around for a few years, you've probably heard of Seller Network. Seller Network is a blockchain interoperability protocol and layer 2 scaling platform aiming to enable seamless communication and transaction across different blockchains with market cap under $100 million. It offers significant upside potential. So what I would do, now that I have that is, let's see if we can get this screen popped. Nope. Come on, go. So I would go over here to CoinGecko and type in Seller, C-E-L-R, I think it is. Yeah, Seller Network. And so, we take a peek at this. It's sitting at a $60 million market cap. So these are some of the things that I do once I have a project on my radar. One of the first things that I do is I want to go ahead and take a look at the market cap. The market cap is $60 million. The next thing that's important to take a peek at is its fully diluted market cap. What's the difference, you might ask? Well, this has a fully diluted market cap of 107 million. And the reason for that, you can see here, the total number of tokens minted for this project was what, 10 billion? Looks like 10 billion tokens minted. And right now, only about 5.6 billion of those are in circulation. So a little more than half of the tokens are in circulation, and a little more than half of them were still going to be getting put out into the market. And so if that number is a huge number, like let's just say that only 1 billion of these tokens were in circulation, I would be taking a serious look at where the other 9 billion tokens were and how often they were going to be hitting the market, and taking a look at the sell pressure. And the best way to do that is, to click down here on their white paper. I'm not going to go through the whole white paper, but normally in the white paper, you can see the tokens and you can see what is, I don't even see here. That's kind of weird. Normally there's, I don't know if we click on that, I'm not seeing an actual, token guide. Normally you can look at the token and you can look at the distribution of the tokens to the private sale holders, to the team, and those types of things. So I don't see it right here, but those are one of the things that you want to do, especially if it's a situation where, once again, like this token is over 50% in circulation. That doesn't bother me at all that there's still some tokens coming. But once again, if this was, only 1 billion of the 10 billion tokens circulating, I would want to do a little bit more research. The second thing that I like to take a look at, folks, is the markets. Where can we buy this token? And so as you can see, this token can be bought on MEXC. It can be bought on Coinbase. That's massive in my world. I love anything that's listed on Coinbase. To me, that gives it a little bit more credibility than some of the tokens that never ever get on Coinbase. MEXC is a great platform where you can get almost every token. So I like the fact that it's on MEXC, and literally you can get this in a bunch of different places. So I like that. That's another box that is checkmarked for me. Now, I do want to preface that, though. If it only was available, say, on Uniswap, that also creates some opportunity, because if you can get into a token, while it's a little bit harder to get to, so, anytime there are obstacles and hoops to jump through, it takes about 95% of the population out of the game. Like if you have to go create a seller wallet and you got to go to a decentralized exchange like, Matcha, or, on a network that you're not familiar with, you got to figure out how to get funds bridged from Ethereum over to the network that you need to buy the seller tokens on. If you got to go through all those steps, 95% of the population isn't going to do that. And so that can be a positive thing also. So I'm not saying that you only want to invest in tokens that have massive, massive liquidity and a lot of places where you can buy the token. Sometimes if it's hard to get a token and you can go jump through those hoops, you've got the skills and the time and just the desire to jump through those hoops and go buy a token that's hard to buy. That can pay off with huge dividends, because all of a sudden when it gets listed on a MEXC, it gets listed on some of these exchanges and it makes it easy. So there's a lot of people that wait for it to get easy and then they go rushing into the market to buy the token, but you've got the token ahead of time. So that can create an opportunity, but it is something to, take into account. How many places can you buy the token? One of the next things that's super important is you want to take a little bit of a look at their socials. So I would go get in their Twitter. I would go to their Telegram group. So literally on CoinGecko here, all you have to do is click on that Twitter button and boom, within a couple of seconds, you are on their Twitter. You can then click the follow button and to keep an eye on them. And then you want to look here, look at this, 210,000 followers. And like for me, it's about 40 people that I'm following are following this channel, and I'm following about 1,500 people. So a pretty decent little chunk of the people that I'm following are familiar with and keeping an eye on this project. You do want to look at the engagement. 210,000 people on their Twitter account is great, but how many of them are actually engaging? So, one of the first things that sticks out to me, this is a post on March 17th and only got 48 likes. And 7 retweets, and then 5 comments. That's not huge. That is not a lot of engagement for a project that has 200,000 followers. This one here, 61 likes, another 7, reposts, another 5 comments. I'm not sure if it's the same 5 people every time or what, but so the engagement here is not something that I'm totally over the top in love with. Now, that's not going to mean that I'm not going to invest in a token, but it is important. If you see that they've got 210,000 followers and they're getting 3, 4, 5, 10,000 likes and a bunch of comments and a bunch of people that are on their post and the huge engagement, that is a good sign. So this engagement for 210,000 followers looks slightly low to me. Once again, you're checking off boxes, and not every box has to be perfect. The next thing that I recommend that you would do is go take a look at their website, seller.network here. You click on that, and now you can come over and see what they actually are doing. Blockchains connected, every dApp, every asset, every user. What is Seller? Seller is a blockchain interoperability protocol, enabling a one-click user experience, accessing tokens, DeFi, GameFi, NFTs, governance, and more across multiple chains. See, now to me, I love that word interoperability. If you go back to the internet, I think it was Cisco. Don't quote me, but if you go back to the internet, there was a website, I think it might have been Cisco or a company named Cisco, that created interoperability on the internet so that different platforms that were using different software and using different things could all be used together. And it ended up becoming a billions and billions of dollar company. I could be off. If you know the name of the company that I'm thinking of, I think it was Cisco, but I could be wrong. But if you can remember the name of the company that created interoperability on the internet, I would assist. Yeah, so Cisco Networking Hardware. I think you're right, Deadwood. That's the name that my subconscious mind is telling me. So Cisco created interoperability on the internet. Now, in crypto, interoperability is absolutely incredible. There's a lot of different tokens that have tried to create interoperability. So if we go over here, I'm going to show you guys an old token. This token here, Ion. Nope, that is not, wasn't it? It was excuse me, I think it was AION. Yeah, so if you look at this, I don't even know which one it was. I think it was this one here. This chain here tried to create interoperability on blockchain way back in like the 2000. You go back here, you can see 7 years ago. So this was a token that was $11.31. It's literally down 100%, which is impossible, but it's close. Went from over $11 down to a tenth of a cent. But this was a company that was trying to create interoperability in crypto. And when people thought that they had a chance to do that, it was a super massive token. Now it's all the way down to a $500,000 market cap. I wouldn't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. But my point is interoperability is super important. So in looking at this first token that jumped off the web page that we were looking at there for ChatGPT, to me, this looks like a pretty massive opportunity. I like the fact that this thing is, well, what did we say here? That this is, trying to create interoperability. And so this is really a token that this AI software, ChatGPT, today just put me onto this. And I'm glad that this is a token that we got a chance to talk about. And once again, it's an OG in crypto, and I call it an OG because, its all-time high here was way back in 2021. So this thing launched and had a pretty big launch back in 2021. I think this was a token that actually launched on the Binance pad. And so anyways, this is a token that right now it's down 94% from its previous all-time high. I would take a little bit, closer look at it, but I like the fact you can buy it. Look at this. You can get it, on Arbitrum. You can get it on Energy. You can get it on Ethereum. You can buy it on a ton of exchanges. And so this is definitely a token that would kind of cross off enough of the boxes to where I would be very open potentially to going and getting myself, a little bag of this. One of the other things that I would mention that is important is to go look at the team and some of those things. I'm not sure if on the website, if it talks about the team at all. I would love, especially if I'm going to put bigger money. If I'm just going to go throw $100, $500 at a token, I'm not as worried about doing the massive due diligence. But if this was a token where I was like, hey, this thing might be worth throwing, a significant, 5 or 10% of my portfolio into this token, I'm going to throw 5-10 grand into this token, then I would want to know a little bit more about their team. And has their team ever had any success in life? Have they ever had a successful company? Like, I know that it can be a little bit discriminatory in a way, but if I'm looking at a business to invest in and the owners have never had any success in life, or if they've had 2 or 3 failures, and now, it's a double-edged sword. Somebody that's had 2 or 3 failures certainly could have learned the lessons that they needed to make the next business a success. On the flip side, if they've never had any experience, that doesn't mean that they can't have success. But think about it, folks. Like in football, for the most part, which teams hire the coaches right out of college into, say, like the NFL or the NBA? Generally, not always, but generally, it's the teams that are performing pretty poorly. So these teams, if they're at the very bottom of the barrel, are willing to take a chance on a guy that's had some success in college, even though he's never had any success in the NFL. But folks, if the guy is losing in college, he's never going to get a crack at the NFL. And so my point is, You want to find people that are showing some winning in their life, even if it's a smaller business, even if it was a company outside of crypto. You know, in other words, if Coca-Cola or McDonald's or Starbucks, one of those big Fortune 500 companies, if they were looking to hire a new CEO for their brand, they're probably not going to hire somebody that's never had any success as a CEO for their company. And so it is important to take a look at the team and evaluate if you believe the team has the ability to get this project across the goal line and to turn it into a profitable, successful venture. So those are a handful of the things that are the most important to me when I am looking at investing into microcap gems. One of the other things that I take a look at is like 60 million here for this market cap. That is still relatively low, but risk reward wise, in order for this to go to say 1.2 billion, it would be a 20x. So 1.2 billion is a pretty good sized cryptocurrency company. Like if you're at over $1 billion valuation, you know, let's just go take a peek at it right now. So in order to get down to $1 billion, you know, so even right here, number 100 is at 812 million. So you got to be right here. We hit $1 billion right here. Number 86 at 1,013 million is, you know, so you got to be up in the top 100 to hit $1 billion market cap. So that is pretty substantial. And so you got to figure if this seller project really took off and went to over $1 billion market cap, it would have a 20x in it. Now, for instance, I'm just going to pull up a company. Let me see. I've been looking at NEURAHUB. So NEURAHUB is a sponsor of the channel. It's a company that we've been working with for a while. On the flip side, this thing only has a $1 million market cap, 1,139,000. Now the risk, if you put money into seller, the risk of it going to zero at this point, with it being a multiple year company, survived the bear market, still at $60 million market cap, a pretty high probability that it's not going out of business. You're not going to lose all of your money. Now with NEURAHUB, even though they sponsor the channel, at $1 million market cap and with all of the AI projects out there, this is one that I think is going to be a winner. But let's face it, the risk of ruin is higher with NEURAHUB than it is with seller. But the reward ratio is much higher too, because you're looking at roughly 1,000x for this thing to get to a $1.2 billion market cap. And for it to get to a 20x, it only has to go up to, you know, it'd be at about 20, 25, 30 million in order to get to a 20x. So the odds of turning, you know, a little bit of money into a lot of money are probably slightly higher with a lower market cap gem. So I do look at the market cap, and it is something that I'm, you know, that I'm a little interested in. You know, one of the other tokens right now that I'm really high on is this TIN, token in. So this thing has just gotten absolutely smashed over the last 6 months. You can see here in the last 30 days, it's down 56%. In the last year, it's down 97%. This thing rocketed up back in 2024 all the way to 44 cents. And its all-time low was 0.003361, and right now it's at 0.004562. So it's literally about as low as it's ever been. It's only at $120,000 market cap. But, you know, folks, I can tell you this much about this token. It is an official sponsor of the channel. Oh, this isn't one of the descriptions that has our sponsors in the description. Most of our videos have the, you know, the description of our videos have our sponsors in them. So if I go to today's video, you can see right here, Token In, one of the top tokens that is sponsors the channel. If you go to its website, it's a gaming platform. It's gotten all sorts of awards and stuff over the last handful of years, and, you know, got a pretty cool website. It's a play to earn game. So if you live in a country where, you know, a dollar here, a dollar there, you know, $5 is a decent little chunk of money. You can actually play this game and earn money. And I mean, like, if I was going to play this game and be looking to earn money, I would be saving the tokens. So if I was playing and I was getting these 10 tokens, $1 here, $5 there, it doesn't sound like much. But folks, this thing, even when it was at a 45-cent market cap, which would be what, you know, 45 cents would be about 100x from here. It would have still only been at, what's 100 times 120,000, 12 million. It would have been at like a $12 million market cap at its absolute peak. So once again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you to go buy the TIN token. I love the TIN token. I've got several 100,000 of them, and I'm dollar cost averaging into this project. I'm just simply showing you where, you know, the market cap does matter, risk versus reward. This is an opportunity where, you know, you can literally buy, what, 100,000 of these tokens for 456 bucks. So for $456, you could have 100,000 of them. If this thing goes back up even to 10 cents, you would have 10 grand for your 456 bucks. If it gets anywhere near its previous all-time high, you're talking more like, you know, $44,000 for a $456 investment. Once again, I'm not saying that it's going to go back up and reclaim its all-time high, but that's also, like I just said too, its all-time high was only a $12 million market cap. So if this thing took off and became a really popular gaming platform, sky's the limit. Risk versus reward. If you threw 500 at this right now, there's some possibility that it goes to zero. But if it doesn't go to zero, you're going to make some pretty significant gains, in my opinion, on this project. So folks, those are some of the things that I think are very important for beginners to evaluate when you're going down the rabbit hole and you're trying to find tokens that are a little bit deeper down in the market cap. You know, if you're investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum and Chainlink and XRP and Solana and, you know, Cardano, Polkadot, Polygon, Matic, if you're investing in those top 25, top 50 tokens, you don't need to do as much research, but I still recommend that you do more research than just taking somebody else's word for it, because there's a huge difference between even a token that's, say, number 25 that ends up going down to number 50 or number 75 versus a token that's at 25 and that ends up, you know, in the top, you know, 2, 3, 4 tokens. Like if you take a look at some of these tokens during the bear market, you know, Tron, for instance, I want to say was probably way, way, way down at number 25, number 30, number 40 during the bear market, and it popped all the way up to, you know, 22 cents. So if you take a look at Tron's, you know, history here, you can see where if we go out over the last year, you know, this thing, you could have got into this during the bear market. You could have got into it down here at 12 cents. If we go to the max chart, go out a little bit further. So during the bear market, this was, you know, a 5-cent token here, and it dipped all the way down. It was 5 cents here. Trying to see if there was anything lower. But, you know, so like this thing literally is already done a 400x for you. If you were investing in it during the bear market at 5 cents, now it's at 22, 23 cents. It's done almost a 5x, where, you know, there's other tokens that are up in the top that haven't done, you know, those kind of numbers by a long shot. You know, like Chainlink has been about a $6 token during the bottom of the last bear market. So it's only at a 2x. And there, if you go back through and look at the historics, there's a lot of tokens that were in the top 25 during the last bull run that are nowhere, they're not even on the first page anymore. So it is important to take a look at, you know, like, so like this token here, SUI, this is a token that's kind of come out of nowhere and done amazing, amazing things in the last, you know, little bit. You can see here August of 2024, this was a 60-cent token. But if we go, you go back a little bit further, you can see that this was 40 cents. So this thing right now is at a 6x. 6 times 4 is 24. Yeah, so this is at a 6x just since October of 2023. But if you go back a little bit further, you can see this token a little over a year ago was as low as 36 cents. So this one has come on to the scene in a big way. And that's kind of what you want to look at. One of Deadwood's favorite tokens, Ondo. Nobody had even heard of this token Ondo, a year ago, is about probably when people started to talk about it. This token has gone from an 8-cent token all the way up to an all-time high of a $2.14 token. I mean, literally from January of 2024 to, well, I guess from, it's showing here, December 16th of 2024, it went all the way up to $2.14. And so, okay, so there we go. So that's almost a year. So you could have bought this token in the beginning of 2024 for 8, 9, 10 cents. And by the end of 2024, 4 months ago, this thing was literally, what is that? About a 20 going on 25x, so you could have literally turned 10 grand into $250,000 in this token. But I'm telling you, back here in January of 2024, it was nowhere near a top 100 token. And so, now it's at 49, and this is a 49 that I think has a lot of room to run. This could be a top 10, top 15 token towards the peak of this bull run. And that's what you kind of want to find. So folks, I do want to go through the chat here again really quick and see what's been going on. A little harder to keep an eye on the chat with everybody typing in the microcaps, but that's okay. Let me see here. That's another, invest what you don't have to worry about if it goes to zero. Absolutely. Deadwood said Plume has started a nice move the past couple of days. So Plume is definitely a token that we've talked about on the channel a couple of times now. So I definitely recommend everybody go take a look at Plume. Agree, Brad. The gains aren't guaranteed and anything can happen. Yep, absolutely. Unfortunately, that's the case. So, Dave P says Plume is looking good. I know that several of the influencers that I follow have been talking about Plume recently also. So I definitely think that is one that everybody should have on their radar. I'm not going to go do a whole deep dive on it, but I will pull it up here real quick. If the ticker is Plume, and you can see here it's sitting at about 20 cents. It's already a $400 million market cap. I don't know how high this has gone since Deadwood started talking about it, but I'm going to guess you can see here that it's up, 58% just in the last 30 days. So if you would have went and got this token when we first started talking about it, you would have already doubled your money. And if you go slightly, further back, let's see if we can do a 3-month chart. I don't even know if it has a 3-month chart. It hasn't been around for that long. If we go out to the max, yeah, you can see here that, at its absolute low here, it was around a 10-cent token. Way back here in January, it looks like it came down a little lower. That's not the bottom of the chart. You can see here the bottom was 8 cents. But literally, this is a token. Had you been watching the channel for the last few months and jumped in, you would be up over 100%. Deadwood says DeFi is going to be massive, especially on base. Liquidity pools are paying great percentages if you all research. So absolutely, you've got Aerodrome, you've got Alien Base, and probably other dexes on base that are paying massive APRs if you provide liquidity, and you can earn some fantastic tokens. We were talking about that last week. I've got some liquidity pools going on in Aerodrome, and I'm earning free Aerodrome tokens every single day while I'm in my sleep. And that's, definitely something that is, something that is important is to not only build a portfolio where you're getting capital gains, but building a portfolio where you're making more money, more tokens while you sleep. So there's a lot of different strategies in crypto. We're not going to get into, the DeFi space today. We got to get rolling. But DeFi, I agree with Deadwood. It's going to be huge. People don't like banks. People don't trust banks. People aren't earning any money in the banks. If you've got your money in a bank, inflation is going up much faster than any type of interest that you're getting from a normal bank account. And so you're just losing money by having money in the bank. So decentralized finance is here to stay. And although there was some companies like Celsius and Voyager that really took the wind out of the sails of a lot of the DeFi protocols, the legit ones that are doing it right, that are backing up the money that you're putting into the protocol with real funds. It's like the difference between back when, the United States dollar was backed by gold, and now it's just nothing. It's just, a piece of paper that's totally worthless. So a DeFi protocol that holds on to the funds and isn't trying to get, crazy ROI on the money that you're putting into the protocol that's actually solid, can make you some incredible money. It's kind of like a poker site too. So like if you play online poker, an online poker site back in the old days, we assumed, like, say I deposit $1,000, they would have that $1,000 segregated. And so if there was a grand total of, say, $5 million in deposits that went into the poker site should have had $5 million in a account, so that if everybody wanted to withdraw their money at the same time, the poker site could do it. But what most poker sites did is they were spending the money faster than it was coming in. It was like a Ponzi scheme, but in general, the rake, so in poker, they take a little percentage out of every single pot. So that rake that they were making off of all of those players made up for it. Plus, there was no scenario really where every player was going to all of a sudden try to withdraw the money all at the same time. So it was still relatively safe, but the government came in and shut down a couple of poker sites and made them pay the players back. And at that point in time, they found out that these poker sites didn't have the money. Well, that's kind of what happened with DeFi protocols. And in my opinion, I think that right now, if most of these protocols, if they've got $1 billion invested into their protocol, the smart ones have $1 billion in reserves. And yes, they're making more money than they're paying in interest, but at the same time, they have the money there to back up the protocol. And that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But that's one of the things when you're investing your money into DeFi protocols and you're looking to get that 8%, 12%, 20%, 50%, 100% ROI, you want to look at the risk reward and make sure that these protocols are being responsible with the funds that are coming into them. Deadwood said, figured if I could snag the next RWA play that hadn't run yet, seeing all their partners and rails to on-ramp assets into RWA. So I think I missed a comment somewhere. I don't know. Maybe this was the Plume. So Deadwood said he got into Plume at 10 cents. And so I think he is referring to Plume with his next comment. He's trying to find RWA plays that hadn't run yet. And he did a great job finding that one and recommending it to the Infinite Crypto family. So once again, thank you so much, Deadwood, for all that you do. And yeah, so it was Cisco. The hardware from Cisco was everywhere. The first stage of business connectivity when we're talking about interoperability protocols. I think we're getting pretty close here. Plume has a big market cap, but it is a sure play for the long-term hodl. I agree with that, Deadwood. I agree. There's still a lot of money to be made there. Very, very safe play, probably. Amen. God will make everything better. I love your screen name. And I very, very, very much believe that. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. There's way too many of you in the chat typing in microcaps. I can't shout out everybody individually. But God bless all of you for being here today. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And Looks like we are all the way through the chat, so that is awesome. And let me see what I got going on over here. Oh, I wanted to show you guys real quick this trade. So yesterday on my trading show, I didn't put a lot of money into this. I had $15 into this trade from 2 weeks ago. And literally yesterday, my original buy-in price on this trade with 10x leverage was at about 21.25 cents. And yesterday it was down around, 20 point. I think I did an order. We do the trade history here. We did an order, 20.47 cents on Polygon. And as you guys can see, yesterday, if you were watching, that position was a little bit in the red, not very much, but a few dollars in the red. It's totally flipped, and we're up 44% now on this trade. And you say, well, wow, you're up a whopping $28. But folks, you got to remember, it's all relative. Like, you could have taken the information yesterday, and if you've got the bankroll and you wanted to, you could have thrown $1,000 at this trade, and you would be up, $450. You could have thrown $10,000 at this trade and been up $4,500. And so if you don't have a lot of money, being able to turn, $65 and then make $28 in profit. I know people that live in other countries where, $28 ain't a horrible wage for a week, or it's definitely not a horrible wage for a day. So it's all relative. I'm going to get more money put into these, into some of these trades, but, I'm rebuilding. I'm taking care of some life. I had a daughter that just moved close to me that I was helping get on her feet, and all sorts of crazy little stuff that's happened in life. And so I've been kind of being in a conservation mode, but I am going to get some bigger money into these trades where I am convicted. I mean, even at 21.54 cents, in my opinion, Polygon is a massive, massive potential token. One of the tokens that is really bottomed out over the last few months. So I just wanted to share, with everybody that was watching yesterday, that's what's going on with this trade. We are up about 45% on it. We'll be doing another Trader Tuesday live stream next Tuesday at 9 a.m. But I wanted to just see, so I don't have a ton of extra dough in this spot account, but I do have a little bit of USDT sitting on the side. So yeah, man, let's give away $50 today. And so what we're going to do, we're going to give away $50, and we're going to give away $50 in USDT. And you guys can see here, if I hit the withdraw button, these are the networks that we can do this on other than Ethereum. Like, Ethereum is the highest fee. So I will send two people $25 in USDT. You can pick the network: Solana, Binance Smart Chain, Tron, TRX, Arbitrum, or Polygon. Any one of those 5 chains you can choose. And the way that we're going to figure out who the winner is we're going to come to the the live stream today, and we're going to click on, once we get a winner, we're going to click on, say, this Nerd Crypto. Nerd Crypto, you are not a winner. This is for just showing people how this is going to work. I'm going to click on your name once we've drawn the winners, and we're going to click on go to channel. That's going to pop up your YouTube profile. You're going to go and change this about. You have the ability, if you own the YouTube channel, you have the ability to change the about. And what I would like for you to do is go in and put in the network that you want the $25 in USDT sent to, and I want you to send me your Trust wallet or your MetaMask wallet or the wallet address that you want the $25 sent to. So that is what we are going to do for the winners. So now let's get over here and figure out how we're going to draw the winners. We're going to go over here to StreamYard, and we're going to go to StreamYard giveaway, and we are going to choose Microcap Gems, this particular live stream that we are on. And then we are going to have you type in the chat in about, so let me see, it's 10:04 and 5 seconds right now. It'll be probably about 10:04:30 by the time I get done here. So we're going to literally let you guys type this into the chat for about 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute. So get ready, folks. You got to be present to win. And in order to get qualified to win, you have to type in hashtag. Let's just make it easy. I don't want to be here all day. Hashtag win. Hashtag win to qualify for the 2 drawings of $25 each. Hashtag win, folks. Go ahead and start typing that in. It is 10:04 and 48 seconds. I'm going to cut this off at about 10:04 and 30 seconds. So, you know, I know there's a bunch of people in here that are trying to get one over on us that, you know, probably have logged in and typed in microcaps with 20 different YouTubes, and we're not going for that. You guys got to be legit. So get in here, type in hashtag win, and we've got 15 seconds left, and then we're going to start drawing the winners. I'm also going to highlight the last one that counts. So if you get drawn and it's too late, it's too late. So we're going to go ahead and draw. And Anna is the last one that counts. So Iran needs help is a winner. That looks like it was above the one here. So Iran needs crypto, is the winner. Go ahead and say something in the chat. And then we're going to draw again. XM Textile was above here. He typed it in above, 3 people above Nayana Dana, so he is also a winner. Congratulations to both of you. So where are we at here? We need, Iran needs crypto. There we go. There you are. Go ahead and add your wallet address to your about and let me know what network that wallet address is so that I can make sure that I send it to the right place. And then XM Textile, you are very, very welcome. There you go, XM. I've got your YouTube channel pulled up. So go ahead and change the about in those two. And then, folks, I am excited to see all of you tomorrow, this afternoon here in just a few hours. We're going to do, once again, the Nibiru live stream and give away another $100. So be here watching that here at just under 2 hours from now. With that, thank you all again for being here. Hope you learned a little bit, especially if you're newer to crypto. Hopefully this beginner's guide on how to, suss out and find some good microcap gems was helpful. And with that, folks, we will see you very, very soon. God bless. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye for now.